Assalamu alaikum, what's going on, y'all? MashaAllah. We back. Figured I'd do a quick video and another quick one, inshallah. But this one's a little different. I got a confession to make. This time I got a confession to make, right? This video is about me personally. I got an addiction, y'all. Yeah, I got a real bad addiction. I've been really trying to fight this for a long time. But you know, when you're raised here in America, especially for us African Americans, at least that's what we believe we are. We don't, so much of our history has been erased, and all kinds of stuff that, a lot of us can only just assume that that's what we are, right? But I have family members who are African American and also Native American and native to this land. I'm gonna get into a video about that later on, inshallah. But anyways, anyone who is a Black American, anyone who was raised the way I was raised, they know about these. Absolute fitna. As we all know, I'm trying to get on this journey to shed some weight and get my strength back up to where it used to be. Those things get in my way, man. SubhanAllah. You know, the thing about those is we're raised on them since kids. You don't got nothing to eat, or you don't feel like making something, or, you just want something fast, you grab one of those. But I must say, I don't use a whole packet. Don't use a whole packet. You have a heart attack. Like I said, for us blacks in America, that sodium's a killer. The high blood pressure's a killer. Don't use the whole packet. You don't even need the whole packet. But man, it's addicting. They are very addicting, and one of my greatest things to overcome is gonna be those. That's gonna be tough. Make dua for me, inshallah. Many students and stuff like that eat them because they're cheap but they're really not good for you. The sodium in the package. A lot of us use the package. The package is what kills you. And it give you high blood pressure. So yeah, I just had to make a confession about that. And there's a lot of people out there going through the same issue. But it's funny. In jail or in prison, anyone that knows those that get you killed. It's funny because on the streets, a lot of these dudes don't even care about food. They just running around, a lot of them are drug addicts. Excuse me. And they go to jail and they begin to care so much about food, man. And there's a mixture of reasons. It's because on the street, a lot of them don't really care for it because of their drug addictions. They're running around and whatever the case may be. And in jail, there's really nothing else to do but sit and eat, work out, gossip like some men do, waste of time. But those soups right there are like currency. Those noodles are like currency. And they'll get you killed. They can get you hurt, and somebody will literally try to stab you over one of those. It's more so about respect. But what's sad about it is that why are you fighting people over noodles? But it's a respect thing. But I also think that, it's not worth, some people are killing people for those. I mean, literally. I mean, people are stealing those in there. People are risking their lives to steal those soups. Um, it's funny. I'll tell you a funny story. One day, I had just went to this housing unit. There's about 100 beds in there, right? I just came from a 21-hour lockdown unit. And no, that was before. Sorry, I had just came from a drug unit. Drug unit is where you get a lot of good time, right? You just participate in the programs. You got to wake up every day, act like you have a drug problem. You know, you earn good time. Basically, you earn days for every year. For every day that you're in there, you earn. Every year, you'll earn a certain number of good days to get out early. So, I remember I ended up going to this other unit. I got sick of that unit. I was just like, man, I gotta get a move out of here. I went to a different unit, and there was like 150 beds, like bunk beds. And I'm like, oh man, I'm to myself, oh no, what did I do, right? So I end up becoming friends with this Jamaican dude. Real skinny, petite Jamaican dude, right? Dude used to play, we used to go out and play basketball, and he used to kick the basketball with bare feet. And I'm like, what are you doing, man? That's not a soccer ball. Where's your shoes at? Like, we're in jail. The dude would be kicking it with his foot, you know, bang, bang, bang. You know, trying to show off and stuff. So, you know, we became all right. You know, we became like, I kind of gravitated towards him, and we gravitated towards each other, you know, mainly because he was from a different county. And he had came through the jail because his son was being abused by the mother and the mother's boyfriend. The mother's boyfriend actually, you know, was smoking a cigarette and put the cigarette on the child's body, basically put it out on the child's body. And that person ended up being arrested. So the Jamaican dude and that person and the mother's boyfriend cannot be in the same jail. So he had to get out of there. Or so that's, you know, pretty much what he told me. So naturally, I felt kind of like, oh man, it's a crazy story. You know, we inclined towards each other, you know. And one day, someone had came in the unit who I end up being kind of more friends with. You know, like we had more in common. Knew some of the same people and stuff like that from outside. So we kind of, you know, we kind of became a little bit more friends than me and a Jamaican dude, which is natural. So long story short, the Jamaican dude started catching feelings, like on some gay, you know, like some strange, you know, strange, like. So we started acting weird because I'm not talking to him as much. You know, dudes in jail are strange. Start getting emotional about weird stuff. So I'm like, here we go, right? So he's like, yo, that's your boy. You know, ever since your boy came on the unit, you don't even be dealing with me like that. Like, yo, that's crazy. I'm just like, well, nah, I know him. I met you in here, but I actually like have things in common with this dude from people outside and stuff like that. So that's really all it is. And I remember one day I went on a visit. So I went on a visit, and they both were back in the unit, you know, doing their own thing or whatever. They wasn't really cool. So I remember I came back, and this particular, you know, dude was kind of a heavy set, big dude. He had like $800 in his account. You know, he was doing good in there. So I came back, and the dude was gone. I'm like, yo, where's my man at? He was like, yo, I don't know. He went to the infirmary. He went to the medical section, whatever. He's a diabetic or whatever. Which he is. He was a diabetic. So I'm like, all right, cool. I go in my box, and every single week I would order 20 of these ramen noodles. I would order 20 of them. So I try to, and every night I would make a few or whatever, like, So I noticed some of my noodles are missing, like two of them. Mind you, the Jamaican dude, his bed is like right across from mine. So I'm telling him like, yo, what happened to those soups? Like, I'm missing two soups. He's like, I don't know. I think your boy took it because he ran up out of here anyway and stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, I got $800 in his account. He's a diabetic and the dude don't even eat like that. Why would he take something from me? He's not even that kind of dude. Why would he take two soups from me? That don't make sense. He had $800 in the account. I seen it. I seen it on the paper. So I'm like, all right, this dude's lying to me. But I can't really do nothing because it's like I know he's lying to me, but I can't really move on him because I don't have pure facts. And I'm not the type of guy to just do something based on what I think or whatever. So it's funny, I'm looking for these soups. I'm like, man, what I do with them? Like, what happened? I put them over here, so I'm like, all right, whatever. I know this guy took my soups, whatever. Basically, I start realizing he took them from me to try to make them think that the other dude took them. So that way we could have animosity. You know what I mean? He basically tried to create discord between us, which was just fruity. It's a fruity, like, there's some men like that, they're fruity. They have some fruity ideas, I mean, honestly. So I'm looking for the soups, and this dude don't have money like that, this Jamaican dude. He really don't get money like that. He don't be grabbing canteen bags and stuff. So all of a sudden, he's making soup, and I'm like, oh, you got noodles? He's like, yeah. I'm like, and I just, you get that feeling. I got a feeling this dude's eating my food. So I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I stopped dealing with the dude after that. The petite Jamaican guy, right? He ended up somehow, I forgot. He ended up having to leave the unit anyway. So but something told me don't, move off suspicion and don't be risking your time for these noodles. And I wanted to because like I said, everything in there is based off respect. But at that point in my life, I was kind of growing. I was kind of learning that you can't just move off impulse. So I didn't do nothing. And plus, I didn't have actual proof. And I'm not the type of guy, I don't have any proof. Nobody's seen it. So it's like, how can I prove that this guy's, because I didn't see him eating the packet. Like, he didn't have it in the package. He had it in a bowl and he was stirring it. And I'm like, he's eating my noodles because he never has like noodles. He's always eating like oatmeal or something. But this night he had like cuisine. He was so happy. He's watching ESPN. He got the food right there. He's sitting in front of the TV. He's like a kid, man. Wow, I got spicy vegetable noodles for once. I was like, okay, cool. But some people, they're very strange, very strange and immature, subhanAllah. But it's funny, those things are very important, like I said. And for a lot of us that grew up here, it's like our culture. Like every country has their cultural food. And like in the more poor neighborhoods, they have their own food, that they may eat, that they feed their children and stuff like that. So a lot of our parents raised us and they were buying boxes and boxes of these soups growing up, of these noodles. So literally it's part of our culture. It's what we eat. It's what we feed our children as well growing up. When they're growing up, we may give them noodles and things like that. Many of us. It's just how it is here in America, you know. But however, I think everything is supposed to be done in moderation, So we got to focus on, like for me, I got to focus on because I don't eat much. But you have to focus on doing things in moderation and your portions not being big and stuff like that, But yeah, man, those are subhanallah, those things, they're not easy. They're one of the things that every Muslim gonna have something. I don't care who you are. You're gonna have something that needs to be fixed. You're gonna have something that is a fitna for you. Some people is the internet. Some people their fitna is makeup. Some people they may be tested with clothes. Maybe he wants to wear a shirt that says True Religion on the front. He know dang on well he shouldn't be wearing that because there's a Buddha on the front. And what does a Buddha represent? It's not Islam, and it says True Religion. So if you're a Muslim and you're upon the True Religion, why are you wearing clothes that say True Religion got a Buddha on it? The Buddha is Buddhism. Like what's their symbol? That's their symbol. So, but however, it can be a test for that person where they may know it's wrong and say, you know what, it's not necessarily the best thing. Let me leave it off, but it just takes time. It takes doing things in moderation when it comes to eating and the certain foods that we eat, and that's just something that I know a lot of us Americans, we have this in common. And you're not alone. You're not alone, especially right now and during this pandemic, when people are literally buying all the food inside the markets and running around crazy, and there's no toilet paper, no hand sanitizer, and everybody's grabbing these. Even the white people's like, listen, they going to BJ's like this. Johnny, grab 2. Joseph, did you grab 3? They're like this. They run up out of there, then you walk in. Dang, I ain't never seen that before. Whole shelf empty. You're like, subhanallah. Alhamdulillah, I guess I'll get some basmati rice or something. I guess I'll get some minute rice or something. Subhanallah, may Allah make it easy. Got us to know the difference between right and wrong and protect us, Assalamu alaikum.